Hello, everyone. Listen to HeartsChat, where we speak from the heart. I'm Erica.
I'm Akila.
I'm Nicole.
Welcome to HeartsChat. So tonight we're going to be talking about teens and teen-parent relationships. Teenagers and parents being able to have a better relationship. So, yeah, that's our topic for today. I think when you think about teenagers and parents, I don't know if that's like a positive image in your mind or a negative image in your mind. Because I'm thinking like this infomercial, like, oh, teenagers, do you want a better relationship with your parents?
Yes.
Most will be like, no.
Yeah.
I don't care.
What?
Why?
That's our assumption. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. So before we get into that, we just, do our check-in. So
Yeah. How are you feeling, Erica?
me? Yeah, again, questioning. I'm feeling pretty good. Like I said, keeping up with my routine. That always helps me to feel good. Being able to let go of certain parts of my routine. So it's always a balance. I like to have, if you listen to us all this time, you probably know Friday's my day to run my errands and do my cleans. But if I have other plans and I don't get to it, that's fine. Mm-hmm. I'll do it another time. I don't feel the need to have it, all. I'm talking with my hands. To have it all complete. So I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm in a good place.
Good.
How are you guys doing? You ladies.
Pretty good. That it's funny you talk about that because I'm like trying to accept that I can't do everything in a day and I stop stressing out about it. It'll get done later.
I'm
we're
not
all
your
doing that.
superwoman.
We are super women, but
Exactly. So then being like, okay with not meeting all those tasks or goals I have in the day. So, yeah.
mine is still to be able to do it the next day. Because if I don't meet it that day, so I forget or something like that. Even if I write to do list or something like that, so still keeping the motivation up to do it, and not it be like 2-3 months from now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm so crazy that I made a to-do list. Or I guess, I don't know, silly would be a better word. I'll change that. So I made a to-do list at work, like at the end of the day, like what I have to do for the next day, things I could do like right now. And I just started doing all these tasks. And I happened to take a picture of it. I was talking to somebody and I was like, I think I was talking to them about doing a to-do list, something like that. And I was like, oh, here's my to-do list. And then I lost my freaking to-do list.
Oh.
But I'm like, oh, well, I forgot I had the picture. I looked at my phone. I was like, oh, there's
There
my
it
to-do
is.
list
Look at
right in
that.
my phone. I was
Nice.
like, oh,
I write them in my phone a lot of the time now. Because a lot of times I think of what stuff I need to do. It's like I'm waiting somewhere, I'm doing something, and a lot of times I don't have pen and paper. So I'll just do in my notes because I have my iPhone and just like write my to-do list. Like I to-do list for now, to-do list to get ready for this, a to-do list for this, and then I'll have like my grocery list and like random times just like start writing lists down.
Oh, cool. But what's really helping me stay accountable is our Periscopes.
Ah.
It's really been helping me because all the things I'm talking about, I reinforce it to other people. It's like I'm reinforcing it to myself. Yeah. And I rewatch our videos too. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's really? Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yeah, mine are a lot of times inspired by what's going on.
Yep.
Or something like that. But then when you say it out loud, like you have to recognize that like you have to continue to do this as well.
Exactly.
Which is another cool idea. We talk about keeping a journal. You can do video journals.
That's true.
Video recordings.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Your little vlogs. I mean, I think Beyonce did. She has some. I don't know if she still does it, but her documentary, like she had like her little vlogs.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you can do it. You could be like Beyonce if you want.
If you want. Keyword.
Okay, so, or you can be a trendsetter and do your own thing if you don't see anybody else doing that, so.
That's true.
But moving on with our topic, teenagers and having a better relationship with their parents.
Yeah.
So, personally speaking, I was a teenager. Well, some time ago. Yeah, some time ago.
Some time ago.
I'm still young enough to remember. Feels like it was yesterday. But I think I had a pretty good relationship with my parents. I wasn't like, how they stereotypical rebellious teenager. I would have my moments where I would think things, or like I said, I had a journal. I used to journal, so I would write stuff down or like do a poem or whatever and move on from it, or just listen to music or go exercise or something. Like I always had something that I did that helped me to feel better. So I didn't really have. I feel like it was all right for me.
I'm trying to think. For me, I just didn't get caught. I think I'm old enough now to say that I'm not get in trouble.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I was rebellious in that sense, but there's also a lot of things going on in general at home. So when I would leave and be with my friends, I don't know if I can say necessarily that it was because of the things that go on at home, or it's just I was a teenager and I wanted to do what I wanted. So I think it's more in the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't have a bad relationship with my parents, but there's strained. That might be a good.
There's
good
things,
word.
I think when you're in the moment at the time, it does seem like a bigger deal to you at the time.
Yeah.
And then when you look back, you're like, well, and you look back and also you know about other people's stuff. And like, oh, well, it wasn't really, I guess it was all right. I can't really pinpoint, like, it was horrible or anything like that. I think it was pretty normal, in quotes, because there's no normal, but...
Yeah.
If you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I had a battleship with my father. It was very bad. Really bad. My mom, we got along pretty well. My teenage years, like 14, 15, 16. But when I was a kid, I was actually really disrespectful to my mom. For some reason. I don't know why. But I was. It was like, I was very slick out the mouth. Like, very. But like Akila said, like, a lot of things you're doing, I don't necessarily know if it was at the house, just because of the house stuff, or if it was because you were a teenager. I think it's a mixture of both. But, I think it has a lot to do with what happens at home if you're rebelling. Because if you're continuously rebelling, and there's always two things. You're either not being paid attention to at all, or they're trying everything they can to fix it, and it's not working. So I think those have to go with the rebelling. But I think a lot of stuff had to do with never feeling like I could talk to my parents about stuff. I mean, now I could talk to them about things, but I don't know as a teenager the place that they were at that time, or the place that I was at, if I really could have, but I really felt like I couldn't, and when I wanted to, it was always late at night. And so then they're sleeping, and so it would just never happen.
Yeah. All those thoughts at night.
I think it's important also to figure out people's definition of rebelling.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know if I would say,
that's true.
If I have a child in the future, if they're like drinking or something like that, if I would consider that rebelling, or because a lot of teenagers do that, like they like to experiment. I think I have to figure out the reason, but if there's nothing going on, like I would think that it's like something that happens. Like I don't know, like what do you consider rebelling?
Yeah, and if we're talking about rebelling against parents, or you're just be a rebellious child.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I was not rebelling against my parents.
Yes.
Because I did certain things to stay in line with them so I could do the bad stuff that I was doing.
Exactly.
So, that was very smart with that at that age. But I was a rebellious child. I was a really messed up kid. But that had to do with a lot of stuff that was going on. Yeah. And little did I know that these things actually were going, like, you don't put them together until you're, like, older or whatever. But there was a lot of stuff. And I thought that I lived a fairly good type of life and everything, but again, I was comparing myself to a lot of people that I knew that had horrible lives, and I knew I didn't have a horrible life. So I would just be like, meh, all right.
Yeah. Well, we're speaking of teenagers. I think everybody. Well, not everybody. A lot of people think teenagers are a hard group to work with because, they've got their attitudes or all the stereotypical things that they say about teenagers. They're not really listening, or, whatever you want to say about them. But I think it's a tough time. Like, it's a tough developmental stage to be in because you're not old enough, but you're not young enough, so you're kind of just stuck there, and then your body's changing, and, like, people have that weird looking stage, you have to go through. There's a lot. And then you have your thoughts, so you develop your opinions, where you want to say about things, but, like, you're still a child, in quotes, where your opinion doesn't matter as much, Then you're approaching 18, where you're considered an adult, but you're not really an adult. Nope. So it's really a tough time. Or then when you're like a preteen or like a tween, and then you are 13, you're a teenager now, but you're still little. Yeah. I mean, parents and still kids. I think when you're you're a kid, if people treat you as a kid, you know, they should. You know, you should be an appropriate, healthy relationship. You should be treated as a child. Then when you're like a preteen, you start to, you know, oh, they're about to be a teenager. I see like some of these changes, you know, in my kid, but then they're still pretty cuddly, you know, because they're still a kid where they can like cuddle and, you know, be that kid. And then boom, like they're in the teenage stage, and it's like there is none of that. There's not that cuddly part really anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no.
You know, and it might come back, you know, and it might come and go, but it's a stage where you're going through a lot, and there's a lot of changes, so it's hard. And people expect you to be like how you were before, and you're not.
I think there needs to be like a talk about mourning period for parents, so they can, so they can like see that like it's just not my child anymore. No, it's because it's not your child anymore. It's a teenager.
Yeah.
And I think that there needs to be like implement that somewhere, like if it's a parent guidebook that doesn't exist, of mourning and processing that your child is becoming a teenager, is becoming a little bit more autonomous, and to be able to accept that and help guide them through that during that time.
Yeah, because the parents need it, and it's really them mourning, like, oh, my little baby is like getting older, a teenager now, you start thinking about their future, and then you could possibly take that out on your kid by being more strict on them. You don't want them to go out, to keep them in the house, to keep them closer to you, you know, because you don't want to let go. You know, it's understandable. And I can see why they say, oh, my kid's changing. Well, their friends become more important at this time. So they want to be like them. Yep. So maybe they are doing some different things that you didn't teach them, that they got from this other kid, that maybe they got from their family or whatever. But that's what happens.
It's true. And in today's age and time, it's all... They're not just learning from their friends anymore. They're learning from friends from around the world. So.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's so much more influence that they have and access to all these different things.
Mm-hmm. And you know firsthand, you know.
Oh, yes, I do.
A boy and a girl.
Yeah, you get the two different ones.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, they're good kids. It's just when they get that teenage attitude going. My God.
You know, I know there was an incident. I'm not going to call them out. But, you had mentioned they got a little snappy with you, you know, and I'm sure it's happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
So, it happened more than one occasion. And I said to Akila, I said, well, if they were smart, wouldn't they want to, like, suck up to you and, like, be your best friend and stuff? Because, like, you are an adult and you can do things for them and take them here and take them there, and you're not their parent, you know? Yeah.
And I can't punish them.
Right. You know, like,
the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Don't cross this over here. Like, you picked the wrong one. Don't mess
with Akila.
Right, especially, I mean, she's not your mom or your dad who's like, okay, well, I mean, I gotta move past this. I mean, your family, but still, you're not their parent, so it's different.
Yeah,
you'd be like, you want appreciative? Nope. I'm not your mom. Sorry. So...
Well, speaking of kids getting snippy and stuff like that, I think the way that parents talk to their kids and kids talk to their parents and what's allowed to happen and what happens and you know what they're allowing them to do and what you're not allowing them to do all affects it. I don't think, I mean, some teenagers need to be, you know, yelled at. Some, you know, I get that.
Definitely.
But there's a way to get to people and talk to people in a way that you don't have to raise your voice, to be stern.
Yep.
So it's like, if you treat your kid, you know, your adolescent with disrespect, they're at the age where they are starting to know what respect is and need respect back. So they're 100% not going to respect you. So if you want to be respected, this is a time where both of you are earning the respect for one another. And to give that, and don't think because they're, you know, your kid that you shouldn't respect them.
Yeah. But I think that's the issue, because old school way of thinking is, no matter, when you're under my roof, I run this, and you're a kid, you stay in your place. When that doesn't work. It does not work, because these kids are ultimately growing up to, like, they're forming their independence. They're adult. They're people. Like, they're people, what it comes down to. And now, at this age, they're getting to their adult people. So...
Well, that's what I'm saying, the respect part about it, because of how we were raised, possibly, or the generations before us. it was that, but there was a certain amount of respect back and forth.
Yeah.
It was like, if I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, I'm not going to let my mother or my father know about it, or, probably mom know about it.
At least have that respect.
Because I'm going to respect you with that. I'm not going to be that disrespectful towards you in that way. I still might be bad and do whatever I'm doing, but you have that, and then the parent might not necessarily treat you real bad unless you do something to do that. I mean, there's always cases, whatever.
Yeah, there's exceptions.
But this day and age, one, teenagers are entitled somehow off rip. And two, a lot of parenting don't know what to do with that because they weren't raised in all this, that they continue to let them be entitled. So
I think it's
somewhere you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna cut that off. You could do what I say, somewhere like at 16 years old or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Well, Keela, to your comment before, you were saying like kind of the old school way, and it not working. I think there's certain things that work and don't work. It's like it can work to the extent to where, okay, well, your kid's gonna be like, maybe it will help them be on a straight and narrow, like a good path and all this thing. But what about your relationship? Like, is your kid afraid to talk to you about things? Is your kid hiding things from you? Is your kid have to sneak behind your back and do things? Can you guys talk?
Yeah, on the surface it works.
Yeah,
like what it looks like.
Right. Yeah. But you look at the relationship, it's non-existent.
That's what my grandfather told me, was that I said, I think when I was younger, that my kid will fear me, that they won't do stuff. I was like, because they're going to be scared of me. And he goes, well, why would you want that? Yeah. And he goes, you don't want your kid to be scared or fear you. You want your kid to respect you.
Right. Yeah.
And because respect means that they're not going to overstep their boundary, but they still can have a relationship where they fear you. You're really not going to know your kid, and kid's not going to know you because you have this barrier in between you.
Right. And then you look back and be like, I really wish I would have got to know this about, my parent or my kid, and you will have regrets about it. Because I know a common term is, I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend, I'm your parent. Yeah. You don't have to be BFFs. You don't have to be friends, but you are family, and you should have a relationship. It's not a boss-employee, type of thing.
Your kid should know that they're going to be able to come to you for things. If they need it, and I'm going to talk to you about my girlfriend or boyfriend maybe type thing. Yeah. But maybe like if they need you, if they feel like that, and that's a lot of times why there is no relationship, or they start rebelling against you because they don't feel like the person who's supposed to be there for them the most can be there for them. Mm-hmm. So it's to get right, not to have the boss dictatorship type of relationship. Yeah. But it doesn't mean you have to let them walk all over you, but it's allowing them to know that they can come to you for things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there has to be that balance. Because too much causes issues. Too much leniency causes issues, but too much strictness also causes the same thing.
Right. Like we say, it has to be a balance to pretty much everything. Nothing can be too much of this or, too much of that. There really has to be a little bit of both.
I think one of the most important things is consistency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to children in general, but especially teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because now they're really at the age, like we've been saying, that they can think for themselves. They know what's going on. So they know you said you're going to do something and you don't do it. Oh, you ain't coming back from it.
Right. And you can't
done for.
You can't go around it like a little kid.
Yeah,
because they're going to hold you accountable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think a big thing for teens that I've noticed is teenagers really want to be understood because they feel misunderstood. They probably don't understand themselves at the time. Maybe going to school, they feel misunderstood by their peers, and they really latch on to those friends that really understand them. Exactly. And that's why, you form your really close relationships. So at home, if you feel like your parents don't understand you, you're going to isolate yourself, or your siblings or whoever's at home don't understand you, you're going to isolate yourself. So I think, Nicole, what you said about, not going to their parents about certain things, I think if you felt like your parents understood, or you mentioned the dating and things like that, I was thinking, parents go through all this same stuff, and they might have had the exact similar situation as you. Mm-hmm. Maybe they were just like you, how they went about things. Maybe they were a little bit different. But if you talk to them about it, maybe that's a person that can understand you. You can feel like, oh, somebody understands me. Or maybe they could say, oh, your aunt so-and-so, kind of went through that. And you could chat with them after you have to say every little thing. But it would be nice to have that good relationship and an open relationship. Not too open. But to where you can talk about things if you feel you need to. Yeah. Because how many kids feel alone?
Exactly.
You know?
I know I did. That's why I did a lot of things I did.
Yeah. So you need that. If you can't go anywhere else, like I always know my family, if I can't go anywhere else, I can always go home.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have anybody else, you have your family.
You know, we know that now.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you're seeing stuff, or a teenager, it's like the complete opposite. You can't see past. You have like these goggles on for like 5 to 2.
It depends on the situation. Because in my family, that was always something that was always talked about, always said. It was kind of ingrained in my mind. Like, push come to shove, might be your last resort. The back of your mind, but at least you knew. But if you don't hear that or have that conversation or feel that you can, that's a red flag.
And I think a lot of, obviously I'm not a parent, but I think a lot of just parents as people always want better for their kids, for the most part. For the most part. But, so anything they did, they don't want their children to have to go through or do.
Yeah.
Which then further pushes them away. It's not like your kid's probably going to do what you did to some extent. You could try as hard as you want. But
a lot of times the harder you push people to not do something, they wind up
right
there.
Yep. Exactly. So, and I think that's also what we talked about before, the whole entitlement thing. That's where that comes from too, because parents want better for their kids, so they're giving them all these other stuff, and now these kids are like, I deserve that. My parent gives me everything. So that's where that entitlement comes from. It's not, like, obviously it's not for bad intentions, but this is what's resulting from it.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with the giving material things. It's replacing a lot of conversation and family time, because we live in such a busy world that there is no, a lot of people don't eat dinner together anymore. A lot of people don't go out and do things together anymore. It's like, so to replace these, I'm going to give you this and that, like, or just giving it to them because you feel guilty, start building that relationship back up with conversations, with quality time.
Yeah. There's so many things you can do. And being a teen is such like a interesting state to be, where you still, like, you want to do some of the grown-up mature stuff, but you still like some of the kid stuff too. So you could have family game night. It doesn't have to be go fish, but it could be like Clue or different. There's a lot of new different board games out.
I like Go Fish.
I know, right?
I'd be into that.
Well, I mean, I'm saying if you don't like that game, there's a lot of different games. You can go to the store and like look around and search, for interesting games. There's like even family like bonding games too. We play the Ungame, and it's a card game where it's just different questions. There's a family version, there's a teen version. So you can play with your teen, and it's like questions about, what do you think about abortions? What do you think about
I think I did play that
politics? Yeah, there's different. There's a board game version, and there's like the card version.
You get to learn about them.
Yeah, just
that's cool.
There's like a 1 pile, like label all the ones, and a 2 pile, and you just ask questions back and forth. What do you think about money? Like just anything, any and everything.
And isn't the other one like something in the family, like the other piles, like who do you think is the most talkative?
Oh, that's a different game.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah. That's a different game. I have a game kind of similar to that. I forget what that game is called, but yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
That's just like different things like that. I think you have to sometimes do different things. You can't always do what you always did, especially now your kids in different developmental stage. Try some different things. Like when they were a baby, you would try this and try that. Like, at this stage, they're bottle fed. Now we have to eat food. Oh, now we're using diapers. Or now we're on the toilet seat. You make those drastic changes. You have to do that as a teenager too. Besides just being 16 and now I teach you how to drive.
And doing things that they like to do.
Right.
Also.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, I think that's a good place to end it.
I think we got it.
I think so.
We're trying to like recreate the teenage life we wanted.
So true.
Yeah, and whether your kid appreciates it or not, at the time, you still need to do it.
Yep.
Because what kid really is gonna be like, oh, I appreciate this so much, thank you, my queen, my king. It's really it's not gonna be like that. In different ways. Some will do that.
But not everyone.
Yeah. And kids do express their appreciation in different ways.
That's true.
And they're not always really outward about it, too. But doesn't mean they're not appreciative.
Yep.
So, there we go.
All right.
All I got to say.
All I got to say.
All right.
Drop them by.
If you are an artist and would like us to play your music, or have a product or brand that you would like us to advertise, or if you have any questions or comments, please email us at HeartsChat@heartchatradioshow.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope at HeartsChat, and our Instagram at HeartsChat Radio. We post a lot of motivational messages up throughout the day, so if you need a little inspiration or pick-me-up, follow our pages. And for more information on HeartsChat, be sure to visit our website, www.heartschatradioshow.com.
We hope you enjoyed our show today. Tune in every Sunday and Tuesday on HeartsChatRadioshow.com for a new episode of HeartsChat. So don't forget to tune in again at HeartsChatRadioshow.com and check us out.
And visit my blog and ask me all of your relationship questions anonymously at FromErica'sHeart.com. Thank you for listening to HeartsChat, where we speak from the heart. Bye-bye.